fair hikes and service cuts, when many of us are barely hanging on. The buses are the lifeblood of this city, and yet you read them dirty and poorly maintained. Yet you always seem to have money to build another rail line. No one wants these rail lines, but you totally disregard the people there today. Collectively, you stay comfortable with the extra security. Don't lose shit. Because you don't know what's best for us, the people that are dependent on this transit system. Because you don't fight, and none of you are transit dependent. We're telling you that we can afford the extra security blankets that we need to keep ourselves and fares and services and food. But you want us that have barely a net because of your net day. We're the fairness in that. In closing, I'd like to say that I demand that you read the OPAL budget alternative into the record so that we can be recognized for the work we've done and looking out for the community and the people that cannot speak for themselves. And I hope you give us a little more regard than you gave the people out there that will dance the light rail going in their community and address our issues. Thank you very much.
Now to Lisa and then Romeo Sosa and Stuart Fishman.
My name is Tabitha Bergetti, and I'm here today. I felt compelled to introduce myself because as we talk about over 1 million rides being lost as we look at increasing fares, I've had to realize that I am one of those people who will not be boarding the buses often. And frankly, that's not a decision that I've been able to come to lightly. I am transit dependent. I don't own a car. It is highly unlikely that I will own a car in the near future. I have places I need to go to on time. My only other option is really my bike, but I'm really asthmatic. Like, I'm that chick on the side of the road puffing on the inhaler halfway up the hill. It's not a pretty sight. But there are certain risks to my health and safety that, frankly, I'm going to have to take. I have a very limited budget. I cannot pay 1/8 of that budget for a monthly bus pass. The number of rides that I'm able to take is based on my budget. You will not be able to see any more money from me personally for more rides. I will have fewer rides. So I personally am that individual who poses that little statistic about losing rides as fare increases. Hello. I don't think this is a mistake for me at all. I am a nerd for transit. I once embroidered a bustle shirt in the only reason I'm not wearing that shirt today is that I wore it so many times it wore out. I love those little boxes you guys have where you fold it up and make it match. I even love train. I love it all. I think transit club, yeah. It's super fun. But at the end of the day, now I have to be a sister cyclist and fight my It's really sad. And it's sadder when I realize that there are those of my fellow transit riders who do not have an alternative. We're losing their precious contributions to society every day. I volunteer with people who rely on the bus as their only means of getting out of the house. And I know I won't be seeing them as often. So basically what I was going to say is that the risk that you're taking in losing ridership is not a risk that you can take. It is not a down risk. And a risk that you can take is just to read our proposed budget alternative proposal into the record. It's easy risk. Yes.
Thank you, Tabitha.
Yeah, hi, Tabitha. This is going to be a tough act to follow. My name is Lisa Serrano. I'm a union electrician, a member of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Union, and I'm also a supporter of OPAL. I have had opportunity to go out with OPAL onto the buses. What becomes immediately available as you talk to folks is that really public transportation is a civil rights issue, as we've been talking about today quite a bit. People rely on it for work, for groceries, appointments, for socializing, everything comes about the ability to get to where we need to go. As I think Terrence mentioned, I also understand that none of the board members are transit dependent, so that voice is represented directly on the board. And what I'd like to encourage each of you to do, and I do this myself, is I am able to have a car, but each time I get into the car, and I encourage you to do this, think about, if I had to to take public transportation to get to my destination, how would my day look different? You know, what are the things I would have to consider? What things do I need to carry with me, and how am I going to do that? What time do I need to get to the bus stop? And not just if there's a scheduled bus, do I need to get there early because it might come early, or maybe it's going to be late, or maybe it's going to be overcrowded and pass me by. How would that influence your ability to conduct your lives day to day, to be effective people in the workplace, to spend time with friends and family, to dress up and go to an event and know that you can get there in the way in which you wish to present yourself? I mean, all of those things are things that people in this room think about every single day in order to live their lives, try to live their lives in the way they want to. And that's a voice that's missing in your daily deliberations when you're doing this work. So I just encourage you personally, when you sit down in that car each day to go to your next destination, think about, if I was transit dependent, how would my day look different? As a union member, as a community activist, I feel like one of our key roles in the society is to think about how we care for each other, especially those most vulnerable among us. And that's something that's come up today too. I think that's got to be a key core piece of the mission of Trimet. So OPAL has done an outstanding job over the last few years of bringing transit-dependent voices directly to you, and they've also done an amazing job of putting together a thorough proposal. And I'm here today to encourage you to read that into the record and give it careful consideration. Thank you.
Stewart up next, and Denise, I guess it's Denise Moore, and Lucia Apadar. All right, yeah. Go ahead. You want me on?
Yeah.
All right, please proceed.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Romeo Sosa, and I work for BOSE, for the Reliance Education Project. I work with day labels. It's about 200 to 300 day labels every day. And most of them, they don't have jobs. They have like part-time jobs. And a lot of them, they have family in their home country in Sudan, and some of them have family here. Most of them, they are men, but also there are women. That's the people that bring the bread to their family. Think about the daily perspective. A lot of them, they don't get a job for a day. A lot of them, like, they don't get a job for a week. A lot of them, they don't get a job for a month. So that means for a day labor who doesn't have like money to get food to their table, don't have the money to come to look for work. So a lot of them, like, they come to the water center where I work, and also some of them, they come to the streets, maybe not seeing, struggling to find a job for a day. I just want to mention that when you make these decisions, think about those people. Think about two things. Improve your life and improve the life of the community. I think the most impact on these decisions, that's going to be in the life of the people who are basically the poor people, the homeless people, the laborers, the farm workers, the domestic workers, all the people who are struggling to get a job. That's the most impact of their life. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Stuart Fishman. I'm a bus rider. I buy a monthly pass, and I'm going to give up my time so you have time to read the proposal into the record.
Janine, and Risha, and then on deck is Joanna Brenner and Cameron Johnson.
So I calculated my income a couple weeks ago, and before self-employment taxes, I make about $1,000 a month. Minus fixed costs, my rent and phone bills, that leaves about $500 to distribute to my household needs, to whatever healthcare needs come up, just a modest payment, and to transport. I am transit dependent, don't have a car. My ability to ride a bike is limited for health reasons. I use Trimet to get groceries. I use it to meet people. I use it to come to events like this. Just in itself costs $4.20 for me. My use is already carefully rationed. The higher the fare goes, the more choices I'll be making, and I walk another 15 minutes to avoid taking the bus. If I go to my friend's house for dinner, will I be able to visit the bank tomorrow? When people can't afford to ride the bus, they won't. With this in mind, I don't think that the current Trimet budget proposal works. I don't think it works because it reaches first for the people who have already seen fares rise beyond their ability to pay. Your current strategy will decrease ridership. And how long do you expect to keep that up without destroying the transit system that depends on ridership? For that reason, I support OPAL's alternative budget and urge you to read it and take it seriously. It's a plan that recognizes the crisis that Trimet's riders who face this system find themselves in. And by reading that plan and taking it seriously, you thereby take us seriously as well. Thanks.
Hello, Chairman, board members. My name is Rusha Tapdar. I am an MPH student, a public health student at Oregon State University, and also a member of OPAL. And I'm transit dependent. Because I'm transit dependent, I'm also aware of the problems that the kind of system brings with it. So I had proposed to study at Oregon State University, where in collaboration with the university, we did a research study on what are the health effects of the transport system that is there on low-income individuals. I'm just going to tell you one of those stories. One of the individuals that I personally interviewed, she lives in a low-income housing in North Portland, and she used to take 3 buses to go grocery shopping for her family of 4 twice every week, all the way to the other part of the city, so that she can have cheap and nutritional food. And most of the time, her ticket ran out by the time she was trying to board the third bus, and she had to pay another $2.10. And not only that, the waiting time at each bus stop, added to the distance between her house and the grocery store, made her grocery shopping trip a 2-hour-long errand. So every week she was paying $20 and traveling for 2 hours just to provide daily nutrition to her family. Today she has stopped making that stressful trip twice a week and just buys low nutrition food from neighborhood stores. Consequently, 3 of the 4 family members are obese, and her husband recently had a heart attack. High care and infrequent service of Trimet incurs chronic health problems of low-income families in Portland. Hundreds of other families in the same situation are eventually turning into victims of long-term health effects, which lead to low productivity and high healthcare costs for the city itself. When these fares are raised higher by Trimet and service is lowered further, you are paralyzing these families from adopting a healthy lifestyle. You are paralyzing their children from developing into healthy adults. By endorsing the OPAL budget, Trimet will sustain the well-being of these transit-dependent families who constitute the highest proportion of Portland population, and this will be the primary step to building a healthy population for the city's future. Thank you.